have made it so much richer and so much more interesting for me. And these guys, again, they've been really generous in even pointing out mistakes that are in the film that you might not have noticed. And so I've got a whole little department here called In Case You Missed It. Do you want to see a couple of little mistakes that these guys have shown with me?
Subtitled, Nobody's Perfect.
So look, this is the kind of stuff that would get digitally fixed in post, but because it's a 40-year-old movie, it's just in the movie. So during the great train dodge scene, the aborted train dodge, where Chris pulls Teddy off the tracks, and they have this incredible, powerful scene, and then the boys walk up the tracks, something happened. Jerry, do you want to take it from here?
So, it's that great scene, there's a fight going on, and Rob shoots it through the train, and you see us fighting. It's just a great scene, and then River has that great bit where he says skin it. He says skin it, and you see that River is a real peacemaker that Chris is a real peacemaker with us and doesn't want us arguing with each other. And then they skin it, and we walk up the embankment up to the tracks. We, when the scenes were too wide and they would use boom microphones and they couldn't do that because the scenes were too wide, we wore radio microphones. This was like at the beginning of when they were using RF radio frequency mics. They were about the size of this is gonna age me, an 8-track cassette. Anyone remember 8 tracks? About the size of an 8-track. Wow, you really are old. We
established Gen X.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
We would wear them around our ankles. So I'm walking up the embankment, a fight has occurred, and I guess in the scuffle that we had, my microphone fell out of my left pant leg. You're gonna see me walking up the embankment, and you're gonna see the microphone come out of my left pant leg. Can we see that, Mary? Here we go. Skin it. Could have dodged it.
How handsome is River? The best.
You too, Corey, you too. There we go, okay.
My ear looks great.
Watch this incredible bit of acting. Left leg, left leg!
What a professional you were.
What a professional. Stayed in the scene, everybody. Anonymous would have been like, oh, cut! Stayed in the scene.
That's a true actor right there. Even at 11.
Now,
Speaking of 11-year-olds.
oh, do you want to go to that?
Yeah, I mean, okay, there was another 11-year-old, in the movie besides Jerry O'Connell. You remember? Yeah, the kid whose body we find was 11-year-old Ray Brower.
Oh, yeah, of course, yes.
But the joke is, he doesn't remember because Ray Brower wasn't really 11 years old at all. Did you guys know this? You did? How many? Show of hands. How many of you knew? Okay, there's like a few of you. All right, it's worth telling.
All right, so yes, the dead body, well, initially the dead body wasn't going to be played by a real actor. Oh, well, we'll get to that eventually in the narrative. That's okay, you know what?
Roll with it, baby, roll with it!
This is a rehearsal. You guys, you'll come back for the real show later. We're in it now. Well, maybe we'll do that, maybe we won't. I don't know. But we'll tell the story of how an actor came to play the dead body, because it really originally wasn't even going to be an actor.
Our makeup artist on Stand By Me was a legendary Hollywood makeup artist named Monty Westmore. And Monty's brother, Mike, is equally legendary. I got to work with Mike when I was working on Star Trek The Next Generation. He's an amazing, he's a phenomenal artist. And he sculpted an entire head for Ray Brower's body. And made it look the way that it would look if he had been laying down in the culvert like he was. And I was in the makeup trailer the day that it was shipped up from Los Angeles. And it was shipped up in one of those wooden crates that's like been watched over by top men. And then we had to open it with like a crowbar and pull out all of the straw. It was very like romantic opening this thing up. And we open it up and we're like, oh shit, that's Kent. So Kent was Corey's photo double, and Kent is in the pie eating contest and was just part of our crew. And we were like, what in the world is going on? This is crazy. It's so uncanny and weird. Bringing people in to show it off and all that. A few hours later, we go to like shoot stuff at the body, and they put the head on the dummy and put it down, and everyone's like, that's all kinds of not a real person. Like that doesn't work at all. And the way that I remember it, Kent is here, and I am sorry, Kent, if I get this wrong. The way that I remember it is someone was like, Kent, you want like $50 to put like some makeup on and go like be the body? And Kent was like, hell yeah. So they made up Kent to look just like the body, and that is actually him, a real human being in that scene. So
there he is, ladies and gentlemen, not an 11-year-old boy at all.
It is
19-year-old Ted.
Latrell, who is with us here tonight.
He's here. He's a local. Where is he? Where's the body in the body?
He's right over here.
I'm going to tell you a story about this.
Here we go. Yeah! So check this out. Hey, wait, this is really cool. He was taller than me. He was my stand-in, and he was an inch taller than me when we shot the movie. How crazy is that?
I never grew.
I didn't think I did either, but you shocked me today because I was like, oh my God, I grew.
He was totally surprised.
I was, yeah. But look at you. You look great, man. Look at that. He hasn't aged a day.
You are an Oregonian. You gotta tell us how.
And he said he hasn't aged today. He was dead in the film.
Ken, for a dead guy, he's looking amazing. I mean, really. I've never seen a guy that's turned it around like you in 30 years.
Ken,
I'm showing my age.
Ken, you gotta tell us how you came about Stand By Me, because you are a true Oregonian.
Okay, like from how it all started. Okay, so I was going to the University of Oregon.
Athlete, wrestler, come on.
Yeah, I'm all right. And so my roommate at the time was a baseball player, and he was about 6'4". Pete Ward, actually.
Like Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. And my wife's going, give him the short version. I can see her over there.
By the way, his wife and kids are here. He's got his whole family here. Isn't that awesome?
By the way, this is gonna be longer than Corey's ear story.
Which is weird because the dead kid is here.
So there was a magazine at the University of Oregon, and they were looking for a short person that was 18 years old at least. And he gave it to me as a joke. Look, they're looking for short people to do it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll do it, you know. So I go in, and I go to go through 4 interviews to get the job as this guy's photo double, right here. And got the gig.
Ken, are those your hands when they're walking on the trestle?
It is. Yeah.
Oh wait, there's another thing too. Check this out. So there's actually shots in the movie that we couldn't do ourselves because of weird timing stuff or because we were, little kids and you can only work so many hours, labor laws, right? So Ken, are you actually in a couple of the shots where they think that it's me?
I am. I'm in that shot right there.
There he is! That's not me! It's him!
Since we were reenacting, Ken, I'm so sorry to put you on the spot, Dan. I'm so sorry I took over. Ken,
You play like you're dead.
Ken, everyone get your phones out, please. Ken, would you mind laying here, please? Ken, please.
We can only do
Lay
this
right
here.
there, lay
We can
down.
only do this here.
Do this.
It's an Oregon
Sounds
exclusive.
good for you.
Thank you. Who's got a bug? Anybody got a beetle in their pocket? Because we gotta put it in his mouth, that's why.
There he is! I see him! There he is!
Oh my God.
Hold on back, Ken.
Cordy, is that Thanks, Ken. Thanks, buddy. I love you, buddy. I'll see you tonight. I'll see you tonight.
It was a really great moment. I remember when the shot of the body. Kent was such a trooper. There's a bit in this script that was cut from the final movie where it says in very Stephen King fashion, like we're looking at Ray Brower and his mouth begins to move like he's the dead kid about to speak. And what happens actually is a beetle crawls out of his mouth. Right, that's the reaction you're supposed to have. So we're trying to do that on the day. And what I remember, and I asked Kent earlier, and he confirmed that my memory is correct, which I'm really feeling great about. Because I'm 53, and I can tell you that is not always the case. And get your shingle shots, everybody. Way to go. Yeah, good job. So anyway, so I remember that Kent is laying down there and he's like, could we maybe instead of the beetle in the mouth, it could be like a snake goes across his neck? And they were like, nope, put the beetle in your mouth, shut up. So they put the beetle in his mouth and Monty Westmore is like dropping beetles into his mouth. And the beetle is running back towards the back of his throat because the beetle's like, oh, it's warm and moist back there. That's perfect, I'm a beetle. And what they end up doing is one of the guys, Buzz Feitshins, was the camera operator. Is that right? Yeah, Buzz was the camera operator. Mysteriously produced some Jack Daniels, like very quickly, more quickly than you want someone to work. And brought it over, and the way that I remember it, Kent was like, oh, thank God. And they were like, no, that's not what it's for. It's for you to swish around your mouth and make the beetle leave. And it worked. And it was extremely unnerving and really creepy and weird. And I really admire that you did that, Kent. I thought it was
I only heard
Because if I'm being cut out of the movie,
Right.
trouble.
And my only question was like, how did they get Paul McCartney to jump into his mouth anyway?
Because Pete Best wasn't available.
Sorry, we're going too deep, folks. Too deep for you.
Just to let you know how much time has passed, I just also got my shingle shots.
Hey, way to go.
That's the standard.
Now, once again, I'm feeling left out.
Well, we should take you and then do a big pharma commercial.
We should. That would be really great. Yeah. So celebrities make money on this kind of stuff, you know?
I'm just trying to...
Instead of Sally Struthers, you can see me coming on every day. Hey, everybody! Did you get your shingle shots yet? If you're an old fart like us, make sure you get them.
I have some notes. I'll give them to you after the show.
Should we go to some audience questions?
Love audience.
Great idea, Dan.
Thank you so much, Corey. This is something, and Will, I've heard you talk about this, so I'm really excited that we got this. This is from Renee Lonnie. Is that, am I pronouncing your name correctly, Renee? From Vancouver?
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
Okay, try again.
No,
Take two.
Okay. It says, not a question, but it haunts me to this day. I am still and will always be sad and angry that Gordy never got his hat back. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a really upsetting moment of casual cruelty, right? You may be familiar with casual cruelty if you pay attention to the news these days. So that scene is, it's brutal. We feel it's just another loss for Gordy. And I asked Rob when we're doing the thing at the body, like, why doesn't Gordy say, and give me back my hat? Or something like that. And Rob says, because they went around the corner and eyeball threw the hat in the trash. He didn't care. It wasn't about the hat, it was about being a bully. Ace never cared about the hat, it was about being a bully. It was about them being cruel to you kids. And it's senseless cruelty that we all experience, that we all just have to live with from time to time. And hopefully, it inspires you to not be senselessly cruel.
I just have to interject. I recently saw Kiefer Sutherland,
Were you in an Uber?
and I want to tell you, I stood next to him, and we exchanged pleasantries and stuff, and he was very nice, very polite.
All right.
I could fuck him up today. I realized that senseless cruelty. I didn't act on it. I didn't act on it. I hugged him. I said, it's great to see you, but the whole time I was like, I can fuck you up right now. Do it. Nice to know. Terrific guy. Terrific guy.
Say, be nice to people on your way up.
Can I want to tell you something about that scene where they take Gordy's hat. Kiefer and River were working out that beat where Ace throws him down to the ground. And they were working out the beat where, where he's telling him, take it back, take it back. And this is when I realized that River was the type of artist and the type of actor that I was not yet, and I didn't know if I ever would be. And it was River saying to Kiefer, the idea was that he goes down on the ground and then the cigarette is in the foreground and he's just holding his face there. And River says, pick it up and like put it in my face. Like really get it, like right close to my face. And Kiefer was like, are you sure? That's like kind of dangerous. And River was like, I trust you, let's do this. This is what's right for the scene. I want it right in my face. I want to feel the heat from your cigarette. River was 14 when he was saying all of these things. And he had such incredible insight into how to make a scene work and how to bring a scene to life. And it's a really good example of how actors have to be able to trust each other, because that's dangerous. And he trusted Kiefer to really make that moment safe, but make it incredibly believable. And every time I watch that, and we figured it out, Jerry, what is it? We've seen it 8 times now, we've watched the movie, in a really short period of time. That stands out to me every single screening. It was this moment where I was like, that's what an artist does as a storyteller. I really thought a lot about that, and it kept coming back to me, that moment, throughout the entire production, when Rob would come and talk to us and ask us questions about our characters. Why does Gordy feel that way? What is he thinking right now? Okay, so when he says whatever, what does that remind him of? And I would tell him, and Rob would say, oh, okay, why? And then try to get down to the simplest root of the emotion, so that we could just bring that out on screen. I thought about it all the time, and how lucky I was to work with him and to work with River also. I noticed tonight for the first time, he's so sweet and gentle in this movie. And I think it's something that I'd always taken for granted and didn't really like, it punched me in the face tonight. Like, I saw that sweet little boy, that sweet little 15-year-old boy, who I thought was larger than life, who like was so accomplished already as an actor, and now I'm a dad and I'm a middle-aged man, and he's not here, and I see that little kid, and I feel just so robbed, so just ripped off by the fucking universe.
He really was that character. Typically the eldest of the boys would alpha dog us,
Yeah, for sure.
He is that kind of person. He really was.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it would have been like to be able to be friends with him as an adult? And to be able to work together again as an adult? Like, luckily, Jerry and I got a chance to work on Sliders together.
Not as big of a cheer as Next Generation or Goonies, but whatever. No. It's okay. It's
Sliders, man! Everybody loves Sliders!
I want to ask Will a serious question.
I'm talking about River, man.
Because I noticed something in that scene, and I want to ask, was that a direction from Rob? So they take your hat.
Yeah.
They walk away. You are glaring at them. And I'm like, oh wow, that's so telling, because Gordy's gonna get back at Ace when he says, suck my fat one, you cheap dime store hood. Was that a direction you got? Was that a choice you made? How do you know to do that as a 12 to 13-year-old?
I remember Rob directing me to just stay on them until River pulled me away. He's like, stay with them, because you're thinking, like, you're thinking that you might go back and try to get that back. You're thinking that you might, that you might go and try to get it from those guys. And it's River, Chris pulling Gordy away. That breaks Gordy out of that moment.
So cool.
Yeah.
What I love, even when you're referencing Sliders, is how iconic all of these moments are. I mean, you know, Stand By Me, you guys saw the show Sliders, right? Some of you? Okay. There's a sly little Stand By Me reference when Corey guest starred on Sliders with Jerry 10 years after this movie. Can we just show that clip real quick?
Handsome, look at your facial hair. Oh yeah, I'm not fat anymore in this show.
So great. Such a great moment.
Yeah, such a
I think it was really believable because of the pitchfork I had in my hand.
But we get so many...
Jerry's like, do you want to be on my show? I'll put you with a pitchfork.
But we get so many questions about how Stand By Me...
Love you, Jerry.
Yes.
I'll give you his number later.
We would show a clip of Next Gen and Goonies, but we can't afford it. Sliders is like super cheap. It only costs us 7 cents.
Jerry's humble. Jerry's humble. He was the executive producer of that show. That's why we were able to get a clip.
Let me just say
For only
something else.
7 cents.
Let me just say something else. That
It's a
scene,
great deal.
and why Rob Reiner was so great. That scene where I give him the 7 cents, that is one shot, folks. There's no coverage. They're not cutting into close-ups. They're not an editor isn't setting the pace. That's a pace, a comic pace that Rob Reiner had with his actors, specifically Will, looking at it and pausing and saying 7 cents, Vern, and it kills. I was sitting up there with Crazy Ryan, and there he is. Ryan, you still here? Okay. I tapped him on the shoulder and I went, hey, what's your name? He was like, who the fuck are you? I'm doing the show, I'm gonna mention you. And he was like, Ryan? Where's the after party, Ryan? Are we going to the River Pig or what are we doing after this? Okay.
Peaks? What's Twin Peaks?
It's the bar. Okay, come on. No, but I wanted to get to, Rob did so much of this in what they call masters without cutting. And I think it's because maybe he came from sitcoms, so he understood timing, but he rehearsed all that timing with us, and it wasn't like chopped up like they would today. They don't make movies like this anymore, babe.
I saw an interview with Rob sometime in the mid-90s, and he's just done so many incredible movies, right? Like, I think of any of them, like we are so lucky to be in his filmography, and he talks about how it was important to him to do long one-take shots in Stand By Me because it's really hard to do that with kids. Because it's hard to keep kids focused. It's hard for kids to have good, solid comic timing. You cannot teach that. Either you have it or you don't, and you had it, and still do.
No, but really the scene that Rob always talked about is right after that junkyard scene. When
Yeah.
they're walking away and they're all comforting Teddy, who's, you know, had a major emotional scene. And then the timing of Jerry when he starts singing How Gun Will Travel is
Flawless.
perfection.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
And that's all one shot.
Well, first of all, that was a very difficult scene emotionally because for me, that was the scene I was most scared of because I had to cry.
Yeah.
So everybody else, you know, Will and River, they had these really heavy, serious moments where they got to break down and they got to cry. But mine, it ended up being on a traveling, moving shot with all four of us, which makes it a whole different beast because you're trying to find that emotion, but you've got to also pay attention to all that other stuff like blocking and lighting and moving and all these things. And I was very nervous about it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull that organic emotion and find that place. And Rob was like, you've got to find it, you've got to find it. Don't worry about the tears don't matter. What matters is finding the emotion. And I learned something about myself that day in that moment, and then bam! As usual, here comes Jerry with the perfect timing.
You actually had great timing in that.
But it breaks it up. It breaks it
I
up.
have to stop everyone and apologize to all of us, which is a very vulnerable moment as a young man to say I'm sorry for ruining everyone's time. Your timing is really good.
I was just reading lines.
Again, no cuts. And I know that must have been tough for you to reach. I had to cry when I was running from a fucking train! A fucking train!
Jerry, let's talk about that scene.
Well, they had to get him acting, so they put the real train in.
This may be my favorite story about the making of this film, and it says a lot about these guys, but it really says a lot about Rob Reiner. And I want these guys to tell you this story, and then I would like to give Rob Reiner, if I may, the last word. But guys, tell the story of shooting that scene on the train trestle.
Will's got to tell it. Will's got to tell it.
Okay.
He's the storyteller.
He's a narrator. He's a narrator. By the way, if you didn't know, The Body, the original story, is now out on audiobook, narrated by Will Wheaton.
Thank you.
And you get to hear him do all of our characters, which I can't wait to listen to personally.
It was, thank you. It was such a privilege and such a gift that I got to do this. It's really, really meaningful for me, and I could talk about it for half an hour, and I won't. I will tell you a story about how Rob got a really great performance out of Jerry and me. So we moved from Oregon down to Bernie Falls, California, which is a little bit inland from Redding, and the train trestle is still there. The city had to build enormous barricades on either side of it because fans of the movie are constantly going there, walking out into the middle of the train trestle and throwing cones down. True story. So when we got down there, we all had been working together for like a little over 2.5 months. We were really comfortable. We knew each other, we felt comfortable in our characters, and we were just kind of in a comfortable place. The day that we were shooting all of that, it was so energetic, man. It was exciting. There was so much going on the set that day. It was exhilarating. There's a massive steam train, and it's loud and it's real, and it's a whole thing to move it back and forth across that bridge. And there's a helicopter coming around, and there are stunt performers, and they have this enormous dolly set up with the camera on it, and it's on the train tracks. And they are, it takes 4 guys to move this heavy dolly with the camera on it. And they're gonna push that away from us as Jerry and I run toward it, the train's behind us. And it is so unbelievably hot the day that we did this. When we were in here, and when we were in Oregon in the summer of 1985, apparently it was an unseasonably hot and dry summer. It didn't rain until September that year. And we were.
It was so hot. It was like Clackamas hot.
Oh, nice, local reference, love it. We are down there, and Jerry and I are on the trestle, and the train is really far behind us. We're safe, and it's exciting. It's exciting and it's so exhilarating to be there, right? And we're like, oh, this is great. We're doing a stunt. We're in like a set piece, you know, it's great. So they start the train and they roll the camera and Rob says action, and Jerry and I act our little hearts out as we're running away from the train, you know, go Vern, and we get to the end and Rob goes, cut. And it's like, we need to do that again. I don't believe that you guys are really afraid. Like, I don't feel it. I kind of feel like you're acting. And like, that is the worst thing I have come to learn in my life. It's like when you get busted acting, it's the worst. And we're like, okay, so we go back, we reset, we do it again. Jerry and I are just acting away. We get to the end, same thing, you guys. Come on, we gotta go. Like, that's not, you're missing the beat. We gotta go, and I see that the guys, the grips that are pushing the dolly, like they're sweating like crazy, you know, and they're like, these fucking kids. And he said, they gotta move the whole train back, it's a whole thing. By the 4th time we have done this, we get to the end of the take, And Rob stands up from behind the little monitors that he was sitting behind, and he rips off his baseball hat, and he grabs his headphones and he throws them around his neck, and he steps around the monitors, and he looks at Jerry and he goes, "You guys are fucking up my movie! It's hot! These men are tired! We're all hot and tired! We all want to go home! And nobody believes that you're afraid! That train is gonna kill you! You boys are going to die if you don't get off that bridge! And if you're not afraid of that train killing you, then you better fucking well be afraid of me!"
Jerry and I look at each other and we go, "Oh my God!"
And I see, right? And I look back and I see Rob go to the first assistant director, roll the camera, roll the camera, roll the camera, roll the camera. Action! And we do this scene and we run down to the end and we run past the camera and we get to Rob. And Rob opens his arms to Jerry and me. And Rob pulls us in and he hugs us. On the top of the head, and he kisses Jerry on the top of the head, and he says, "Thank you, you guys. I'm so sorry. That was wonderful." And it was the sweetest, most loving moment, and it taught me so much. Like, if someone's like, "Who's Rob Reiner?" That's who Rob Reiner is. He made a space for us that was safe. And he made, he ran a set that was about working together to tell a beautiful story that 40 years ago still matters to a lot of people. And he did that by working with us to help us find these performances. And in that moment, that's what Jerry and I needed. We were kids, we were overcome by the excitement of it, not by the actual drama of the moment. And that Rob did what he had to do to get the performance from us. And then as soon as it was over, made it okay again. A lesser director would not have done that.
Beautiful story, Will.
So I would like to give Rob Reiner the last word. Rob Reiner was one of the great directors of all time. And this film is in a continuum of films, the likes of which, a sequence of films, consecutive films, no other filmmaker has ever had. Genre-defining films. From This Is Spinal Tap, to The Sure Thing, to then Stand By Me, I think followed by The Princess Bride.
Harry Met Sally.
Harry Met Sally.
Few Good Men. I mean, these are all definitional films, but Rob Reiner always said that Stand By Me was his favorite and his most personal. And so there is a wonderful interview that Rob Reiner gave to the Television Academy, which you can go online and see, but the TV Academy knew we were doing this tour and gave us a gift. They did a special high-def, color-corrected, beautiful excerpt of this conversation where he's just talking about Stand By Me and what it meant to him. And so I'd like to share that with you guys if you'd allow me. Here is Rob Reiner.
Stand By Me was the first movie that I did where I realized that I have a chance at actually being successful at what I like to do. It was the first time I did a movie that really reflected my personality. It was different from anything my father would have done. The character of Gordy was kind of an observer. He wasn't really involved in the story so much. And when I hit on the fact that he was going to be the main character and it was about him, and this journey to see the body was something he had to do in order to come to grips with his relationship to his father and how his friends helped him see him through that difficult time because he felt his father didn't love him, and his father liked the brother better and all that. And I thought, okay, now I can see what this film is. And those are feelings I had, you know, and the strength that you get from friends and how friends can make you feel good, you know, help you make you feel good about yourself. I was scared because I thought if people don't like this film, then I don't know what I do. Because up till that point, even Spinal Tap was a satire. My father had done satire. He had done Show of Shows. Those were satires. They did satires of movies even. You know, so that was something, I was trading in an area that my father had. Sure Thing was a romantic comedy. My father had made romantic comedies with Doris Day and with James Garner and Dick Van Dyke. And so I was still in it, you know, trading in an area that he was in. But when I did this was something that my father never would have tried, never would have done, and this one really reflected me. So I said, if people like this, then they're gonna like what I have to offer. And they did. I was lucky. They did, and it was a tremendous affirmation for me.
Thank you, Rob Reiner. Thank you, Will Wheaton. Thank you, Corey Feldman. Thank you, Joey O'Connell. And thank you,
This thing's fun. Before you guys go, you guys want to do a selfie? All right, everybody get in the middle. Okay, forget that. Just try and squeeze in.